Hi, I'm John Haskins, Assistant Athletic Director for Internal Affairs, and you are watching the Black and Gold Report on WFXB.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this week's edition of the Black and Gold Report, a show all about UNC Pembroke athletics. I'm Jenna Davison, and on the show today, we're going to be recapping our latest football game with head coach Pete Shinnick, and on the second half of the show, we're going to be talking a little cross-country with head coach Gary Aycock. But Coach, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
UNC Pembroke is 4-0 for the first time in school history after a pretty dominating 38-10 win over Wingate on Saturday. Let's just start off with some of your thoughts on the game, as well as what it means to you and your team to post the program's first 4-0 record.
Well, the game against Wingate, traditionally has always been a very difficult game for us. So, very pleased with our guys to be able to pull out a 38-10 victory. I think our defense played exceptional, and our offense really grew a little bit in the run game, and we were able to handle some things that kind of threw a little adversity at us offensively, but handled it extremely well. Being 4-0, when you play 4 games and you've won the first 4, that's great. First time in the program history. We are very proud to have that mark right now, but it is really just the beginning of what our team wants to accomplish and what we hope to continue as we go along here.
Well, as you've already said before, the game was won with superb defense. The Braves limited Wingate to just 127 total yards, including a deficit of 18 yards on the ground. Let's highlight Code Black here a little bit. They seem to be getting better week after week. Are you seeing the same type of results, and what made them so dominant this past weekend?
Well, first off, our defensive staff, Shane Richardson, our coordinator, O.C. Williams, and Alex Crutch, our defensive assistants, just put together a great game plan. Really put, I think, Wingate in a lot of positions where they could not be right. When your defense plays the way we did on Saturday, and tackled at the success rate that we did, not many offenses are going to be able to do anything. So great credit to our coaching staff, and then our players just performed as high as they have. I mean, at a great success rate, flying to the ball, making great plays. So a combination of those things.
Well, Code Black matched the school record with 8 sacks, forced 3 turnovers, and finished the outing with 15 tackles for loss. Those are statistics that fans are used to associating with UNCP defense. What do you see in your defense this year that maybe you haven't seen over the last couple of years?
Well, this year, our seniors on defense are playing extremely well, really anchored by Fred Williams in the middle. Fred is playing his best football of his career. He understands everything that needs to take place, in front of him, behind him. Quentin Pate behind him is playing extremely well. Devontae Bush, Josh Gooding up front, Rayvon Standback. Those seniors, Darcus Elliott at linebacker, those guys really set the pace. And then we've got a lot of supporting cast that are playing very well. We've mentioned LJ Stroman the last couple of shows. Matt Turner had a big game for us. So a lot of individuals contributing to a defense that's playing very, very well.
Well, usually we pull some names out of the box score here, but let's do something different this week and pull out an entire unit. You went into the game pretty banged up on the offensive line and were without the services of 2 of your starters. With the exception of 2 sacks, you finished the game without any yardage, any negative yardage plays. You have to be pleased with the way the guys on the offensive line stepped up.
Extremely proud of the 5 guys that started. 4 of them played in different positions. So we did have Wes Carter and Jordan Champion out of the game, but at the same time, R.J. Harvin had to go from right tackle over to left tackle. Caleb Freeman went from left guard over to right guard, and then we started Josh White at center and Lee James at left guard, positions that these guys have not started before. So extremely pleased with how they performed. I thought our running backs did a great job with protection as well to help us in that situation. But to have 4 different offensive linemen play in different spots and do different things, really happy with the end result.
Well, just really quick before we go to a commercial, on defense, let's talk a little bit about Matt Turner on the defensive line. He finished with 3 tackles, all sacks, and is now one of just 3 players in the 7-year history of the program to record 3 or more sacks in a game. Talk about the role Matt plays on defense in his performance on Saturday.
Well, Matt's been given great effort really every game that he's played, and he hasn't shown up statistically in the past, but he has had great hustle, great effort. This week, I think, is just a culmination of a lot of hard work and some really good schemes by our staff to put him in a position to get those sacks. You mentioned that we had 8, total for the game. Matt probably could have had a couple more with some of the stuff that we were doing up front to free him up. But a great game by Matt. Anytime you get 3 sacks, that's a big defensive game.
It is. Well, we're going to take our first commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to look at some of the highlights from the game and continue talking with Coach Shinek. So stay tuned.
At the University of North Carolina at Pembroke, our student athletes find balance between their academic and athletic activities. With graduation rates higher than the national average, our athletes excel in academics and have won the Peach Belt Conference President's Academic Award twice in the last 4 years. Since 2009, 43 athletes have been named NCAA All-Americans, and last year, 40 made All-Conference. Catch their winning spirit and support the Braves.